Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back finally doing another thrift store makeover. It feels like it's been forever since I've done one, but today I have this wall decoration thing. I believe it's a wall decoration at least. It's a bear in overalls with a bow holding onto a basket, which I'm assuming is to put like maybe flowers in or like fake flowers or something. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing with it. But before I start, I do sadly have to give this bear a little sanding just to rough up the surface a little bit so that it'll adhere better with the paint. And once that is done, I'm going to give it a nice couple coats of white acrylic gesso just to have a good white base coat and to help the acrylic paint that I'm going to be using to stick onto it. And I believe I did 3 coats in total. I honestly didn't think it was going to take that much, but the dark paint that was already on the plastic seemed to just kept coming through the surface. I honestly knew immediately what I wanted to do with this bear. In a previous mini makeover, I painted a bear to look like corduroy, and I wanted to make this bear into corduroy and to match that bear that I painted, since they're both going to be on the same wall in my art room. But now with the solid white paint, I am just jumping into the actual painting, going with the actual same brown paint I had mixed for the last mini makeover where I painted corduroy just so that they would be an exact color match. And I just knew this had to be corduroy because he was in overalls and I just did the mini makeover, so it was fresh in my mind. And I just really wanted to do corduroy again. The only thing is, corduroy doesn't really have a bow, but there wasn't really a good way to get rid of this bow that this bear had. But in one of the books, corduroy does end up getting a pocket, and so I just used the color of the pocket to be on the bow to kind of represent that. I believe the brown took 2 full coats of brown and then like a third kind of just touching up coats around certain areas. At this point, I did 2 coats of brown and then went in with the green color for the overalls and purple for the bow. Now, purple kind of felt like a random choice, but in the book, when corduroy gets a pocket, I believe it's like a purpley kind of color. At least that's the way it looks to me, like a purple. And so I chose purple for the bow just to represent that pocket, and because there was really no way to remove the bow without ruining it. This is one of the few projects that as soon as I see it, I instantly know what I'm going to do with it, but it just felt like the stars aligned all together for me with this project, and I was just so ready to do it. But after 2 or 3 coats for the bow and the overalls, they were done. It was pretty simple. I did a little yellow button like his buttons are, and then came in for the basket, which I decided to do a pastel rainbow weaved basket look. It's not really supposed to be like an Easter basket, and this combination might seem a little weird, especially because like the rainbow just kind of comes out of nowhere, besides me obviously loving rainbows. But since I in the past decorated this like 3-tiered storage container, I gave it this rainbow pastel weaved basket kind of design. And since this is going to be in the same room as that, I thought it would be nice to tie them in together, and so I painted the basket in a rainbow design to go along with it. And When I did paint that basket, it was with like actual acrylic paint, but these are like really small lines that I'm doing, so I decided to go with my pastel Posca paint markers. So the colors aren't like a perfect match, but I do think they're close enough. And honestly, this process was not the funnest to do. I felt like I just kept messing up repeatedly and I was getting very frustrated. But it only took 2 coats, so that made it a lot better. For the bottom of the basket, I did do just like a basic purple, just because you won't really get to see it, but I didn't want to leave it white. Honestly, part of me kind of regrets painting the whole thing in the pastel rainbow. Looking at it now, it kind of looks nice with some of the white on it, but that might just be me being too critical of myself. But after the 2 coats, this is what the basket looks like. And this is after like a few touch-ups on the brown next to the basket. It's pretty much done. All that's left is just to put my initials and the dates and the whites in Corduroy's eyes. And then with the initials and the dates and the little whites in his eyes, he is technically done. And I'm honestly really happy with how he turned out. But just to make sure he stays safe and pristine, I'm giving him a coat of glossy Mod Podge so he has a nice shiny finish but also stays protected. And this made him really really shiny. It's a little hard to record just because it keeps shining and reflecting the lights, but I just think it came out so cute, and it honestly came out pretty perfectly to how I planned it in my mind. And I'm just really happy with how he turned out. He's honestly a great addition to my ever-growing list of things that I've painted. And this is the basket next to this storage bin that I was talking about. The color match, it's almost perfect, which I'm really happy about. This is him next to the corduroy that I painted in a mini makeover. I have to admit, I love the 3D version so much more. And I'm just super happy with how he turned out. But thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Bye!